Let's see. Now, in regards to what else I use, this is an amazing plugin called the Parallax. This is from Neural as well. This is an amazing bass plugin that I've recently just acquired and started using for demoing on some new music that I've been writing since quarantine. I highly recommend this. This thing has some crushing bass tones. You have, again, the artist selections to, Nolly has a good one on here. The Nolly grind, as you can see, everything changes to his settings. The gates, everything like that. You have a lot of options. And then, of course, you've got all the stuff down here that you want to do. The EQ, high distortion, mid distortion, low compression. Because with bass, you run with different frequencies than you do with guitar. And it's always good to kind of keep them separate or kind of in their own space as much as possible. But, hey, I love these plugins. Shout out to Neural. Shout out to my good friend Gus over there. Thank you again, guys, for providing me with some of these. These are absolutely amazing. And I couldn't really honestly see myself doing a lot of recording or demoing without these. Unless I was doing my tube amplifier, which is not also a bad thing, but shout out to Driftwood as well. They're currently actually building another amp for me. A bit of a backstory actually on this amp. I just want to share this with you guys real quick. This is actually a prototype Driftwood that was built for my dear friend Lassie Lemaire in Germany. He was the one that introduced me to that company, and when we did the War Inside album, this was the amp that we used to track most of the rhythm guitar parts. And except it was the 100-watt version. It was actually the Driftwood Purple Nightmare, and he had this smaller mini 50-watt version, and he actually ended up gifting it to me, and I forever in debt to Lassie for that. This is such an incredible gesture, and shout out to you guys and Driftwood. I'm very excited to continue working with them, and they have some amazing amps, and I swear by these amps. These things are phenomenal. If you don't know what they are or have ever heard of this company, they have some of the best amps in the world. They all pretty much sound like an EVH 5150 on steroids, a lot quieter, a tighter low end, sparkling cleans. They actually have a built-in tube screamer. If you can see this circuit right here, that is just for the tube screamer alone. And then you've got the two channels, clean or a rock dirty kind of distortion. And then you've got the full-blown, heavy metal, everything like that, which I typically love. All right. So you guys, I really appreciate everybody tuning in. This has been great. I'm really happy you guys are enjoying these live streams, and I really hope that I'm providing you guys with some sort of entertainment or information that you guys can take with you and maybe improve or start your own home recording rig. A lot of technology has increased. And it makes the ability to write such amazing music at home now and not have to, go to a major studio or, shell out a ton of money. Though I still recommend doing that if you're, because I usually demo, write, and come up with stuff here, but when I'm actually recording like for real, I go to Ben Johnson or Reverse 13 Studios, or if whatever happens, but I'm somewhere doing a studio, most likely with Ben, he's got an amazing studio setup, and I hope that at some point he does a rundown of his setup, because I think you guys would all really enjoy what he's got going on, especially with him moving to a new studio. So shout out to Lars. How's it going, buddy? Let's see, Alex, good to see you, man. It was so great speaking with you yesterday. You're very welcome for the rig exposure, and we'll talk soon. So everybody, shout out to Alex. He's also with Merch Live Magazine, and he has been a very big supporter of the Rain and Fire stuff. So thank you, Alex. I do appreciate that. Let's see. looks like not a whole lot of questions today. But yeah, if you guys want, you know, give me some questions. I'd love to answer them, and we can, you know, do the damn thing, as Ben would say. Brian, shout out to you, Brian Manowitz. Hey man, I hope we get to see each other soon. I know it's crazy right now with this lockdown, but you know, anyway. So let's see. I guess what I could do is maybe play. Oh, you know what? Actually, I can't really play anything through here unless. Well, I guess not. I don't know if you guys heard or whatever, but when I did those Kiss covers, I actually got flagged because I had more than 30 seconds of Kiss in the video. So I was like, oh man, I guess I can't do covers as much. But, you know, I don't know if it was just a matter of, you know, them finding the video or whatever. But, you know, maybe we'll do some more stuff like that. Just be a little bit more conscious of the length of riff time. Let's see. Well, let's see. Any questions? Hey, Nick, how's it going? Play some MSG. I love MSG. That's the Michael Schenker group for anybody that does not know. Michael Schenker is one of my favorite guitar players of all time. He played with UFO. He's also done his own thing with the Michael Schenker group, and you know, he's pretty much influenced a ton of people, and it's great because if you don't know, Michael Schenker actually taught himself how to play guitar, or at least I was told that was a story. He's phenomenal, and he's got his own sound, and I think it's really cool. Oh, here we go. Here's a question. All right, here, I'll show you guys this. Let's see. This is Lars asked, what kind of strings do I use? I am very happily endorsed with a company called SIT Strings, or Stay in Tune strings. For my solo stuff, I'm doing drop A tuning for the most part. So I use these. These are the signature set strings for Wayne Lozniak from Hatebreed, and I believe they're 11 to 58. So they're a little bit of a lighter, heavy gauge, but they're enough for me. I prefer lighter strings for the most part. And then like if I'm doing any kind of other tunings, like you know, E standard or like half step down or a full step down, and like D standard. I'm doing, or drop C, I'm doing strings from SIT Strings as well, but these are the ones I use. They're the power wound nickel 10 to 52. So I prefer just a little bit of a heavier gauge on the bottom, you know, because I'm so used to hitting like that 58. So it helps with my hand. I have a really heavy right hand, so I kind of have a tendency to really pick hard and stuff like that. So shout out to SIT Strings, shout out to Hoagie, my dude over there, for helping me out with these. These are great strings. They sound and feel amazing. I really love them. And then let's see what we can do here. I'll tell you what, if you guys want, I'll show you the rest of the studio, like kind of setup area. This, as you guys all know, is the Ghoul guitar. The numero uno Ghoul guitar, kind of started it all. This is the ESP Custom that came out a couple years ago, actually. I think it was like 1 or 2 years ago. I used the EMG 57 66 pickups with these. The SIT strings, these are the 10 to 52. I've kind of modded the guitar to only have one volume knob. I really don't like all the other knobs. I try and keep it very simple, as I'm not really using the other knobs ever. The only time I've ever used those knobs are just in the studio when I'm looking for something very specific, but other than that, not really. This is our dear friend George, who was recently acquired in New Orleans on the side of a building. We found him. As you can see, there's some chain hanging him up over there, but I feel like he's the keeper of the ghouls over here. This is my second Ghoul ESP Custom Eclipse. I love this guitar. This is the guitar I tracked most of Rain and Fire with, as far as the leads and stuff like that. It's basically the same guitar as the original Ghoul, however, it's got a Floyd Rose. Again, I modded it with just the one volume pickup, or I'm sorry, volume knob. And this one has the EMG Bonebreaker set in them. I really love this guitar. As you can see too, it's still a little dirty and it's banged up a little bit from on the backside from the video shoot. One thing I do want to point out that I haven't already yet, these switch tips are from a company called Sonic Pickups. These are amazing. I have pretty much, they're on all of the guitars except for the original Ghoul, but these glow in the dark, so it kind of matches the theme over here, you know what I'm saying? So then we're gonna get over here to the guitar boat, and first I have to start with my beautiful girlfriend, who's been so loving and supportive, and you know, she keeps me happy and keeps surprising me with like little cool things like this. So I like to keep them around, and you know, I love you, babe. Thanks. This is the only instrument I have guitar bass wise that's not an ESP. This is my Sterling Stingray 5 bass. I use this mainly for just demoing and tracking here at my house. That's really all this is. I use this for. It's a really killer bass, actually. It looks, and it kind of reminds me of the bass that Jason Newsted used to use in Metallica. So that's kind of one of the reasons why I got it. But you know what? It actually sounds really killer. This is one of my favorite, if not the favorite ESP in the house here. This is my numero uno guitar, pretty much. This one's in D standard tuning. It's all neck through, flat black. As you can see, it's been beat up. I've used it quite a bit. This is actually the guitar that spawned the Ghoul guitar. All of the specs on this guitar I was super in love with, and this is kind of the guitar that I just go to, you know, when I try and grab a guitar. It's funny, I actually this year I just acquired this guitar back. A dear friend of mine had bought it originally a couple years ago. I was in a little bit of a you know, tough situation, as we all are, and I ended up selling it to him. Well, I actually hit him up this year and said, hey, you know, would you want to maybe sell that guitar back? And he said, yeah. He was like, you know what, I definitely will, and it belongs to you, and I feel like she should be with you. So, and I'm forever grateful for that, and I appreciate that. I was so happy to get the guitar back. It came back in just the same shape. It was taken care of like amazing. So shout out to my good friend Scott for doing this for me. I really do appreciate that. The next guitar is this guitar is actually one of the best LTDs ever. And this guitar was given to me by ESP about a year or two ago. And I have the Bonebreaker set in this guitar as well. This is kind of where it started with the Bonebreakers. Again, I kind of modded it with the one volume knob. It's all kind of neck through. I have some cool stickers on this, if you guys can see. It's an amazing guitar. I've nicknamed it Chip because I dropped it once and took a giant chunk out of it, but I'll tell you what, this guitar sounds absolutely amazing. You can see how dirty it is because I use this guitar for most of the tracking for the rhythms for Rain and Fire. It sounds amazing. This guitar is just crushing. This is one of the newer ones. This is the EC 1000 Deluxe with, and you guys have seen this probably on Facebook and Instagram, but this is the one I call Jupiter. I'm waiting on some EMGs to come in to switch these out. I'm not sure what these are, but they're the Seymour Duncan pickups, and as you can see, that top is just freaking out of this world. Great guitar. Sounds killer too. It'll be better once I'm done with it. And then you guys all know this one. This is the one that has gone everywhere in the world. This is my infamous E2 Eclipse that has been customized by Jason Oberly. If you guys can see this up close, it's very hard to capture the right stuff, but man, did he freaking knock this out of the park. This guitar actually has one of the first sets of EMG 5766 pickups that I think came out. So if you look at them, they're a little bit darker in color than some of the other ones. Also, again, another sonic pickup switch tip for this guy. It just looks so killer, you know, with the guitar. And then if you look on, you know, it's just amazing what Jason was able to do. One of the cool parts is he stamped his thumb and signed it right there, so that was pretty sick. And then my favorite sticker, the I Dig Lucifer's Lettuce, just, you know, that's the secret to this guitar right here. But man, does it sound amazing. I have it set up in half step down from E standard. Absolutely crushing guitar. I'll never do anything else to this guitar as far as changing it. It just, the way it is right now is absolutely perfect. That's the way it will stay. And I love it. Great guitar. I hope to bring it out more once we get around to playing some more shows and stuff. Last but not least, I have this guitar, one of the newer acquisitions as well. I'm really starting to fall in love with this guitar because it reminds me of a Les Paul with the full thickness. You know, the ESPs tend to be a little thinner, but this one's got the full thickness like a Les Paul. I customized it a little bit with the knobs to make it look more like a Les Paul, and I'm also waiting for some EMG pickups to come in to switch these out. I'm not sure what these are, but not really too happy with them. They sound okay, but they could be better. So again, another LTD Deluxe EC1000. I love that guitar. Great guitar. Let's see. Oops. Trying to do all this with one hand. It's crazy. All right. And I just realized that it's 12:33. Just in time for shot 33, guys. All right. You guys know this part of the show. If you guys have got your drink of choice or your favorite shot,